No. Hey everybody, it's us, the Weasel Gang,
Weasel Gang.
Will and Axel.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, our topic today is going to be Breonna Taylor. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Oh, it's just civil unrest. That's our topic.
Okay,
Civil unrest.
civil unrest in general. And my Axel here was talking about that there's going to be a civil suit carried on by the family of Breonna Taylor against one of the officers involved in the shooting.
No. It's
No?
opposite. It's the officer against the man who was supposed to be put in jail, but he didn't go to jail.
You got
because
that? He died.
out.
Okay,
No.
yeah, it's the police officer who's doing a civil suit on the man who potentially caused this whole thing with Breonna Taylor, who the
Exactly.
cops were officially after.
Yeah.
And I think the big thing going around in the media is that it was very unjust of him, and that they do not agree that the officer should go civilly in court after this gentleman's family for doing wrong himself. And I disagree with that. I think that the police officer has every right to go after the family and some. And once you do civil disobedience, it's civil disobedience. He should have turned himself in. I was just telling Axel, me myself, experienced something like this growing up when I was maybe about 8 or 9 years old. We had a neighbor named Ronnie, and I believe that was his name. And anyway, he was about he lived in Pomona, California, and I was just like 3 houses down from us. And him and a friend were involved in a armed robbery that happened to be in Pomona, and they apparently robbed a liquor store. So on their getaway, police officers were called, and lights flashing and sirens blasting. They were supposed to pull over. Well, they did not pull over, and the passenger started shooting at the police officer, and in turn the police officers returned fire, and apparently Ronnie was killed. He was the driver. He was shot in the head and died. Well, even though because he was just the driver, he was still involved in the crime. And if you're involved in a crime and something bad happens, and police aren't at fault, you're at fault, and whoever's with you at the time
Was that fault?
is at fault. So like little Axel's saying, is like, no cops are at fault at all. This guy brought it upon himself. And Breonna Taylor, whatever her name is,
Caught in the misfire.
well, she brought it upon herself because she knew what he was doing. And you know, it is what it is. And even I tell my kids, and she should have known this, everybody knows this, you are
A product
of your surroundings.
Exactly.
And you are who you hang around with. So if you hang around with crooks and criminals, guess what?
You get the fate of cooks and criminals.
You get whether you're a cop, you're an accountant, or you're just a retired guy like me. You know, I am who I am. I am who I hang around with, and that's the way it is. You know, just because I wear soprano suits and stuff doesn't mean I'm a mafia guy. But if I hang around with them, then I will definitely be a mafia guy. But anyway,
Yeah,
that's
and then we have some stuff going on in the church. Can you tell
Oh
me
yeah,
about
the church. That's right. Yeah, I will tell you, Axel. We have a lot of incidents happening in the Catholic Church at this moment. Apparently, yesterday, in a Muslim or a radical Muslim, I would say, because I don't want to say anything else, apparently walked into Notre Dame in Nice, France, and beheaded an older woman and killed 2 other people while they were praying. And this happened in church. And it's not only an isolated incident. I was telling Axel that I also heard on Church Militant that there was this 2 black Africans or Black Americans, African Americans,
Black Americans, man.
okay, that apparently followed an elderly woman into a church in Cincinnati, I believe, and stole her purse. And not only wasn't bad enough that they stole her purse, but the second accomplice knocked her out, hit her, and broke her jaw. And this was all in a Catholic church. And my saying is, my comment is this: Work it, Axel, work it. My thing is this. Why do people pick the Catholic Church? Why? Because it is the symbol of all holiness. That's why.
Symbol of all things good.
I mean, why didn't they go and behead somebody in a Baptist church? Why didn't they go behead somebody in a Church of the Nazarene? Or why didn't they go follow a lady who was going somewhere else? I don't know. But why do people make movies? And when they always make movies, the movies concerning religion, or they want to use a church scene, the scene is always a Catholic church.
And it's almost always showing the Catholic Church in a bad light.
It is. It's always showing the Catholic Church in bad light. Yet people like to talk bad about it, but they sure like to point out. They like to point out a lot of bad flaws, but they sure like to use it as examples. And well, I don't know what kind of tangent that is.
For it.
Yeah.
And they also like talking about like angels and demons. But oh no, I'm not religious
Right,
at all.
exactly. I'm not religious at all. The only thing is that if there's anything concerning exorcism or any kind of movie concerning anything weird, it's always going to be with the Catholic Church. And if that doesn't tell you something, ladies and germs, I don't know what.
Exactly.
So,
I don't know what will tell me something.
exactly. Not to only tell you, But that's going off on a tangent. Our main tangent,
We're just trying to say there's unrest.
unrest.
Bad
and
things happening.
Black Lives Matter, but actually they don't. It is all lives matter, and that Black Lives Matter crap, that's all a what do you call it?
It's all a marketing.
It's a Marxist organization.
And this is coming
I-
from us.
hey,
We're not even white at all.
Exactly. I'm not saying that that there's not injustice in this world. There's plenty of it, but a lot of people have experienced it. Okay, they're not the only ones. So welcome to America. Now bend over and take your beating. Okay.
Like, our people have had it rough,
Exactly.
You don't see everyone
Exactly.
protesting. When we did have a protesting figure,
Yeah,
the media shut it down.
Exactly.
Get some water before I go.
And that we believe in there's different types of retribution. We believe in if you do us bad, we'll just we'll do what the Klan did. We'll just put you behind a pickup truck and drag you. But we won't say it out loud.
We also have to listen to what Jesus wants,
That's
'Cause
true.
Jesus also says,
The Gospels.
he also says, that if they strike your cheek, you give them the other cheek.
Correct.
But it doesn't mean you have to be compliant. But it also doesn't mean violence on violence.
That's true.
Because Jesus also rejects an eye for an eye. He rejects that because that's an Old Testament teaching. You know that?
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
a teaching of the Old Testament, an eye for an eye.
That's true.
And Jesus, if you follow Jesus, he rejects that because it's
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Exactly. But doesn't mean you have to be accepted.
Doesn't mean you have to lay down and take a beating. You have to
stand for what you know, but you don't hurt the people who are involved.
Exactly. You're not gonna get disposition for protecting your life, your own life, or your family's life. But just telling you, it's saying don't go out for revenge.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
It is.
It's not a non-protective saying. People should really. I really don't know. I'm not an expert,
I know, but I'm saying no because it's like I'm gonna go use an example.
Go.
Because of the deaths of a few people have been making riots, destroying the lives, if not killing them, destroying the livelihoods and lives of other people because they can't replace that store.
You can finish your thought here before you go up. You only got a little bit more to go.
You can't replace the store. Insurance only covers so much, and especially it's ironic when most of the stores they break into are owned by black people, Mexican people, and other minorities.
That's totally stupid.
It's ironic because it shows that the only actual goal is not retribution or justice. It's the greed and sadism.
Exactly.
They want to break something, but be allowed to. Look up the joyful riots because there's nothing to riot for, but they like breaking stuff. And so they do it out of happiness when their team won the Super Bowl and when their team won the Major League Baseball. They just want an excuse to break stuff, you know.
Okay, well,
Yeah, that's what we say.
you know what we say.
Adios, Gato.
We've said enough today. Adios, gato.